In the previous lecture, we have seen the plasma composition. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see the formed elements. Okay, these are also called as blood cells. Now, there are mainly three types of blood cells. Okay, these are called as RBCs, that is red blood corpuscles. Then WBCs called as white blood corpuscles, and third one is the platelets. These are also called as RBCs are also called as erythrocytes. WBCs are also called as leukocytes, and platelets are also called as thrombocytes. Okay, you can also see on the blood reports the count of RBCs, WBCs and platelets are given there. So now this lecture, it is also important to you for to understand the blood reports also. Okay, so we are going to see the three of the blood cells. First, we are going to see the red blood corpuscles, or it is also called as erythrocytes. RBCs are the most abundant cells in the human body. Okay, these are present in the more numbers in the human body. Okay, the structure of RBC is they are circular, they are biconcave and N-nucleated. N-nucleated means the RBCs are non-nucleated. There is an absence of nucleus. Remember the student that RBCs are the cells in the human body which lacks the nucleus. Okay, so RBCs are N-nucleated, but in case of camel, the RBCs are nucleated. Then the formation of RBCs. Okay, the process of formation of RBCs. The process of formation of RBCs are called as erythropoiesis. Remember student that the process of formation of RBCs are called as erythropoiesis. Okay, and these RBCs are produced by hemocytoblast or reticulocytes. That means the RBCs, the process is called as erythropoiesis, but these RBCs are produced by hemocytoblast or reticulocyte. These are the cells before the RBCs. That means from that cells the RBCs are produced. Okay, and for that production there is organs in the human body. Okay, these are called as organ for erythropoiesis or erythropoietic organ. These are different in the newborn and in the adults. In the newborn, the organ of erythropoiesis is the liver or spleen. But in case of adult, the organ of RBC production or erythropoiesis is red bone marrow. Okay, we all know that red bone marrow is the organ for the production of blood cells. Okay, the kidney cells produces hormone erythropoietin. Okay, remember that the kidney cells produce hormone erythropoietin. What this hormone functions for? This hormones stimulates the bone marrow. Then after stimulation, the bone marrow produces the RBCs. Okay, now it is very simple that the kidney cells produce an hormone called as erythropoietin, and the hormone erythropoietin, it is going to stimulate the bone marrow, and after the stimulation from the bone marrow RBCs are produced. Okay, this is the formation of RBCs. Then for the production of RBCs, what is required? What are the things which is required for the RBC production? Okay, Vitamin B12, it is important for the production of RBC. Then folic acid, and most important two things are heme and protein. Okay, that is called as hemoglobin. We know that in the RBCs there is a presence of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin means heme and globin. Heme is nothing but the iron, and globulin, it is one of the protein. So heme and proteins and folic acid and vitamin B12, these are required for the production of RBCs. Now, what is the lifespan of the RBCs? Okay, the average lifespan of the RBCs are nothing but 120 days. That means the RBCs produced in our body can live up to 120 days. After the 120 days, the old RBC cells are going to be destroyed in the liver. Okay, and new RBC cells are going to be produced. Then, in a condition where the number of RBCs is going to be increased from the normal range, this condition is called as polycythemia. Okay, we know that normal range of RBC, okay, we have seen in the blood reports. The condition where the number of RBCs are increases above the normal range, then it is called as polycythemia. And if the condition where the number of RBCs are going to be decreased from the normal range, that is called as erythrocytopenia. Okay, these both conditions are abnormal conditions. If it is increases from normal range or decreases from normal range, both are abnormal conditions. Okay, then the red color to the RBCs are due to the oxygen carrying pigment called as hemoglobin. Okay, we know that the color of RBCs are red, and due to that RBC's red color, the blood color is also red. Okay, that red color is due to the hemoglobin. It is a oxygen carrying pigment, and hemoglobin, heme is the iron and globulin is a protein, and it is present in the cytoplasm of the RBCs. Okay, and the count of hemoglobin or the volume of hemoglobin, it is different in the males and females. Okay, in males it is 5.1 to 5.1 million per mm cube. Okay, and in the female it is 4.2 to 5.2 millions per mm cube. So there is a difference between the males and females. Now talking about the mature erythrocytes, that is RBCs, mature RBCs. Mature RBCs lacks the nucleus, mitochondria, and other membrane bound cell organelles. They lacks all these. Okay, but in their cytoplasm they are having hemoglobin and enzyme like carbonic anhydrase. We have seen function of carbonic anhydrase in the respiration, in the transportation of CO2 and O2. Carbonic anhydrase is important. That is present in the cytoplasm of RBCs, and it also having hemoglobin. Now function of RBC. What is the function of RBCs? The most important function of RBC is nothing but transportation of the respiratory gases like that of O2 and CO2. We have seen in the respiration HB, which is present in RBC. So the function of RBC is mostly transportation of the oxygen and carbon dioxide, that is respiratory gas. It also maintains the pH of the blood and the viscosity of the blood. RBCs are also contribute to the blood clotting. In the blood clotting process, in the accidental cases, blood clotting is necessary, otherwise blood is going to be waste. So in the blood clotting also RBCs perform a major function. A condition is called as hematocrit. Hematocrit is the ratio of volume of RBCs to the total volume of the blood. Remember that the ratio of volume of RBCs to the total volume of the blood, it is called as hematocrit. And it is different for men and women. That means the ratio of volume of RBC to the total blood, it is different in men and the women. So this is about the red blood cells or erythrocytes. The next blood cell is nothing but the white blood corpuscles. These are also called as leukocytes or shortly called as WBCs. Okay, WBCs are colorless. They are nucleated, that means there is a presence of nucleus in the WBCs, and these are amoeboid cells and larger than that of the RBCs. That means the white blood cells are colorless, they are having nucleus in their cytoplasm, they are having amoeboidal cells, and they are larger than that of the RBCs. Okay, WBCs can move out of the capillary walls due to their amoeboid movement, and that is called as the dipedesis. Okay, they are having special type of capabilities that they can move out of the capillary walls due to their amoeboid movement, and that is called as dipedesis. Okay, we know that generally in the normal adult, average 5000 to 11,000 WBCs per mm cube in the blood. Okay, that means it is an average volume. Okay, 5000 to 11,000 WBCs per mm cube in the blood is the average value. Okay, if the number or the count of WBC it is decreases from their normal value, that means below than 5000, then in such cases it is called as leukopenia. Okay, it is an abnormal condition, leukopenia. In cases such as HIV, AIDS and TB patients, such type of leukopenia occurs because there is a decrease in the WBC count than the normal. If the temporary increase in the WBC count than that of the normal, then this condition is called as leukocytosis. Okay, it is a temporary condition, just like that in the pregnancies, okay, or in the newborn babies. The number of WBCs are temporarily increased, and that condition it is called as leukocytosis. But if there is uncontrolled growth of WBCs there than that of the normal count, okay, it is uncontrolled growth, then it is a type of blood cancer. Okay, and it is called as leukemia. Okay, remember student that there are normally 5000 to 11,000 WBCs per mm cube, but this value if decreased than that of the normal value, then such condition is called as leukopenia. If it is temporarily increased than the normal value, then called as leukocytosis. And if this growth of WBC increase it is uncontrolled, then it is a blood cancer, that is called as leukemia. Okay, generally the WBCs are mainly concerned with the protection, that is the defense mechanism. WBCs are functions for the defense mechanism, for the protection. Okay, these WBCs show the polymorphism. Polymorphism means what? They are having variable forms. There are variable forms of WBCs are there. That's why the W basis shows the polymorphism. Okay, then we are going to see the types of W basis. Okay, variable forms are there, so obviously there are types of W base. Okay, you can see one chart on your screen, differentiation of the W bases. Okay, you can see there are W bases. Again, W bases are divided into granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes are divided into neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. Then coming to the agranulocytes are divided into lymphocytes and monocytes. Monocytes are going to convert into the macrophages. Okay, and lymphocytes are going to divide into the T lymphocyte, B lymphocyte and killer T cell. This is the entire dividation of the W base. Now how they are differentiated? Okay, you can see another chart of percentage differentiation. Okay, W bases out of total W bases, they are divided into two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Out of total W bases, 72% are the granulocytes and remaining 28% are agranulocytes. Again in the granulocytes, that 72% are going to divide into three types: neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. That is depending upon the stains used. Neutral stain used, neutrophils; basic stain, basophils; and acidic stain, acidophils or eosinophils. In that, neutrophils are 70%, basophils are 0.5 to 1% and eosinophils are 1 to 3%. Then coming to the agranulocytes, out of 28%, 25% to 30% are the lymphocytes and 3 to 5% are the monocytes. This is the differential count. We are going to see each and every part. First we will see the granulocytes. Okay, granulocytes. Why they are called granulocytes? Because there is a presence of granules in their cytoplasm. Okay, presence of granules called as granulocytes, absence of granulocytes called as agranulocytes. So in the granulocytes, presence of granules in their cytoplasm. Okay, they are also called as polymorphonuclear leukocyte or PMN cells because they are having polymorphism. They are having three types of cells in the granulocytes. Okay, these granulocytes are formed from the myeloid stem cells, and once they are formed, they are not divided again. Okay, this is the special characteristics of the granulocytes. These are formed from the myeloid stem cells. Once they are formed, they do not divide. Okay, granulocytes constitute about 72% of the total WBC we have already seen. Okay, actually granulocytes are the secretory vesicles which contains secretions and enzymes. That means in that granulocytes there is a presence of enzymes and the secretions, some of the secretion. Now, depending on the staining property of the cells, the granulocytes are divided into majorly three types: neutrophils, basophils and acidophils or eosinophils. Okay, these are the three subtypes or the types of granulocytes. Okay, we are going to see three of them. Okay, you can see on the screen diagrams of three of the granulocytes: neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils, are called as acidophils. Okay, we are going to see one by one. First we will see the neutrophils. Okay, you can see in the structure, it is a large in structure, large in number, and there is a presence of fine granules in their cytoplasm. Okay, you can see in the diagram. These neutrophils are stained with the neutral stain. That's why it is called as neutrophils. Okay, stained with neutral stain. About 70% of the total WBCs are occupied by the neutrophils. That means in the entire WBCs, large number is of neutrophils. It is about 70%. Okay, structure of these neutrophils, they are spherical in shape. Okay, you can see in the diagram they are spherical in shape. Nucleus is several lobed. You can see there are 2-3 lobes are given, but more than that, about 2 to 7 lobes may be there in their nucleus. Okay, that is the characteristic feature to identify the neutrophils. Okay, they are spherical, nucleus is several lobed. Okay, they are stained with the neutral stain, they are having fine granules and large in number. What is their function? They function for the phagocytosis. That means destroying the pathogens by destroying and engulfing the pathogens. That is called as the phagocytosis. That is performed by the neutrophils. Okay, you may know that the pus, okay, that pus is nothing but the mixture of dead neutrophils, okay, dead neutrophils, damaged tissues and the dead microbes. That is called as the pus. Okay, then coming to the second type of cells are called as the basophils. Okay, or it is also called as cyanophils. Okay, very few granules are there in this structure, they are large in size. Okay, these cells, basophils, are stained with basic stain. For example, methylene blue, okay, is a basic stain. So it is stained with a basic stain, that's why it is called as basophils or cyanophils. They are non-phagocytic. Okay, then they are small than that of the neutrophils. They are spherical in the structure. Okay, and basophils are about 0.5 to 1% of the total WBC. Okay, now another characteristic feature is their nucleus is twisted. It is an identifying character of the basophils. Twisted nucleus, okay, small, spherical, non-phagocytic and stained with basic stain. Then what is their function? They are present only in the infected and allergic condition. Now, if in the blood there is a presence of basophils, then it is confirmed that there is an allergic or infected condition is present, because only in the infected and allergic condition the basophils are present. Okay, these basophils secrete heparin, histamine and serotonin. Okay, heparin is an anticoagulant. Then histamines are also play major role, and serotonin is used for the mood swinging. So these three of the hormones are very much, or enzymes are very much important for the body functioning. So this is secreted by the basophils. Now coming to the third, that is called as eosinophils, or we can call it as acidophils. Okay, these eosinophils contains lysosomal granules. You can see the granules on the eosinophils very clearly, red colored granules. Okay, that granules are stained with red colored acidic stain. Okay, you can see red colored granules. These are stained with red colored acidic stain like that of the eosin. The stain is acidic, that's why it is called as acidophils. And eosin is mostly used, that's why it is called as eosinophils. Okay. Acidophils or eosinophils are about 1 to 3% of the total WBCs. That means their number is also small. Then another characteristic feature of the eosinophils are nothing but nucleus is bilobed. You can see a structure of bilobed nucleus is there. It is a differential characteristic. So you can easily identify or differentiate neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. Okay. The function of the eosinophils are, main function is of the phagocytosis. They mainly destroy the antigen antibody complex, which is very much important in case of body function. Okay, antigen antibody complex must be destroyed after some time. So phagocytosis is done by the eosinophils. Their number is only increases when allergic condition is there, and they show antihistaminic property. So if allergic condition is there is the presence of eosinophils as well as basophils. Also, the eosinophils are mainly responsible for detoxification because they produce antitoxins. Okay, this is very special characteristics of eosinophils. They are function for the detoxification. So they produce, because they produce antitoxin. So the function of neutrophils, they are phagocytic. Okay, mostly they are phagocytic. Basophils, if only infected and allergic conditions they are present, they are secreting heparin, histamine and serotonin. And eosinophils, they are phagocytic in nature. Only in allergic condition their number is increases. They show antihistaminic property, and they also responsible for the detoxification. This is about the granulocytes. In the next lecture we are going to see the agranulocytes. Okay, thank you.